Good morning. One of the beautiful things about living in northern Illinois is that I am only an hour away from pretty much every Class 1 railroad. If I want to see Norfolk Southern or CSX, all I got to do is drive a little bit into Chicagoland, and I got a busy NS and CSX line right there. If I want to see Canadian National, I only got to drive to Joliet. BNSF, I got to drive south or north. Union Pacific, I got to drive south or north again. But something that doesn't get enough attention is if I drive west for an hour, I end up in the Quad Cities. And the Quad Cities has the only CPKC main line that connects Chicago and Canada with the southern part of the network. That's like Kansas City, down to Texas, Louisiana, and Mexico. So I'm going to head there today, see what I can see. Whenever I've gone there, I've always gotten a few trains. It's usually reliable for at least that much. And sometimes it's very busy. So I don't know what's running today, but it is a weekday, so I'm hoping that it's about as busy as it possibly can be. But if you come along with me, we're going to go investigate and find out for sure.
After an hour of driving, I entered the state of Iowa with my sights set not on my first rail fanning spot, but instead my favorite gas station. Anyone in the upper Midwest will know that Quick Trip, spelled K-W-I-K, is the absolute top tier of gas stations. In Iowa, they operate under the name Quick Star, but it's the same company that owns them. For $13, I got a veggie tray, their signature cheesy breadsticks, and a 3-piece of chicken strips. I'm not old enough to verify this, but my dad says Quick Trip's fried chicken tastes exactly like Colonel Sanders' original recipe from back in the day. Needless to say, it was delicious. On the south end of the Nahant Yard limits, I came across this southbound headlight, which turned out to be the Nahant to Muscatine local K73-7. The next place I check out is Nahant Yard itself. This is one of the busier locations on the line since there's always some sort of switching activity going on, but I didn't see anything on the south side. On the north side, however, I found the yard job switching next to this northbound 4253. Though neither of them looked to be pulling down anytime soon, fortunately I heard another northbound over the radio going through Davenport. One of the many neat parts of this line is the massive dip it takes to go underneath the government bridge connecting Davenport with the Rock Island Arsenal, as seen here. I finally got ahead of this northbound at Mound Street in Davenport, where the line passes through a floodgate. This is the northbound 261, daily mix manifest from Nosh Yard in Kansas City, Missouri to Pig's Eye Yard in St. Paul, Minnesota. Leading today is CP720, one of the special painted military units. Just south of Mound Street at Waterworks, I saw a southbound line into the Nahant Yard limits, so I set up in a nearby parking lot and waited. This is southbound 252, daily manifest from Bensenville, Illinois to Kansas City. Coming back to Nahant, I see that northbound 253 switching the south end of the yard, almost done building its train to continue its journey toward Bensenville. This is actually symboled as 4253, meaning this is one of 4 different 253s running today. Heading back south toward Buffalo and Montpelier, I came across this northbound 261 with yet another special painted military unit. 261 is the same symbol as the 261 we saw earlier, but since the amount of cars heading up to St. Paul was too much for a single train, it was split into 2. I chased 261 back north, making sure to slow down and get one of my favorite pacing shots in Buffalo. I saw another southbound was lined out of Nahant on the main, and a few minutes later this 2-engine light power move came rushing past. This is the power for K71, a daily local for the SSAB steel mill in Montpelier. We'll see this guy again later. I trekked south into Muscatine, where I found that K73-7 returning north with a long cut of cars bound for Nahant. Just north of Muscatine is Hines Siding. At North Hines, I saw this northbound 3253 sitting and waiting for a southbound, but there wasn't a southbound line, so I was confused. I went a bit further north to Montpelier to see what the deal was, and sure enough, I found that K71 local building its train and getting ready to head up the IPSCO branch toward the steel mill. Coming back north into Davenport, I found that K73-7 waiting to meet that southbound 252 we saw earlier. Getting ahead of 252, I arrived at North Hines to see it line south past the waiting 3253. Now with the switch and a signal, 3253 can continue its journey north.
Alright, I think that's going to do it for me today. Saw way more trains than I was expecting, which I will take that any day of the week. I love when that happens. So thank you for coming along with me today, and hopefully you'll join me again next time I do this. Thank you for watching.